June 6th.
We're talking about a lot of airplanes because of Pluto in Aquarius. Are we talking about another blackout or something that has to do with airplanes?
This card is saying your intuition is on the right track, and it causes a lot of despair. I said that 11th house, and look at that explosive thing.
Could it be an accident?
June 12th, a horrifying plane crashes in India carrying 290 people. Each week, Val and Amber make royal predictions and track breaking news headlines. In last week's show, Val translates a Uranus opposition.
It's coming, and it's a missile, something that the allies can't see. It's a shocker.
This is devastating. It's like the witches around the cauldron.
6 days later, Israel shocks the world with an attack on Iran's nuclear facilities, killing top officials. What will happen this week? Stay tuned for more predictions.
I'm Astrologer Val Evans. It's Friday, June 13th, Friday the 13th, and Amber with Taurus Moon Tarot and I are here to read the charts and make some predictions of the future news headlines coming up using mundane astrology. So just some shocking headlines from the past week, and we're going to talk about it today. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell to get an alert for our shows every Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern and 9 p.m. GMT. So if you're new here, welcome to the show. The content here is for royal watchers and mundane astrology fans, but we also show you how to make your own predictions using astrology by teaching you how to review your solar return chart like we do with newsmakers and royals. So special thanks to our replay crew and our members, the valedictorians, who make this show possible. If you'd like to become one, just hit the join button and get some member-only content. So I've got some stuff coming up this weekend I think you'll like. Hello, Amber.
Hello.
Wow, I was shocked that last week when you talked about the witch's cauldron, I had to look that up. I did not know that that is actually a term used for Middle East relations, if you want to call it that, and the chaos that happened. So what a clue you got last week. We got a lot of clues.
We did. It felt like a busy week, a busy show, a lot sort of coming at us. The missile prediction just blows me away.
And then also, I thought it was so random, like talking about the oranges in the freeway and how that was Leo, and, you know, talking about the precursor of the OJ trial was the LA riots. And then within one day, we're seeing protesting and riots in LA. Has that affected you at all?
Thankfully, no. I am at a distance and in a little tucked away valley. So, but it's equally as painful to watch it, you know.
Yeah. I'm sure it was a shock. Like you were watching that on Saturday. What did you think?
Yes. I thought of everyone I know who's close to it and you know, texting, is everyone okay? Everyone was, but they started sending videos and photos from their windows of what they could see. And it was pretty wild. Yeah.
And it was pretty late at night, I think, when you got a video of the sounds of all of the police car and the sirens, right?
Yeah, en masse.
Thinking about those people downtown and how hard that must be. And we're talking about trooping the color. If you recall, we were talking about this last year, and it seems like yesterday it was going to rain. There was blustery winds. It was very successful. Yeah. Will that be the case for this time? I wanted to ask you before I get started on the charts.
Yeah. And is this tomorrow?
This is tomorrow. I think some of the people start at 9, but officially I think it starts at 10:30 in the morning.
You know, it actually looks very positive.
Oh, good.
It looks like it goes off well. This is all pistons firing, but this is also the will card. So maybe he will present prominently with the children. I don't know if the children are going, but I would imagine.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
We like the magician. Can I ask you, this is what I've been seeing in the chart. It may not be directly in the event itself, but I'm seeing a shady female. Can you tell us anything about her?
Ooh, well, as you asked the question, I pulled the Queen of Pentacles, but I typically see this as Catherine. It's Capricorn. And in the upright, it's a positive. So let's see the shady one. Well, this is a rabble rouser. It is another woman. So I'm interested that we got the female card.
Okay.
And yeah, Queen of Wands can be a little bit of a rabble rouser.
Okay. We'll start out with omens and symbols. I just have a couple. It's been a while. The word security comes up. That's Saturn. Saturn represents security. It represents locks. And we see that word next to Prince Harry a lot in the headlines. It's almost like dad. It's the symbol for dad. And in these headlines. But I wonder, could this be an omen about a potential security problem for the royal families? Because we've been seeing that word so much in the past 2 years, I guess. Is this an omen?
Well, I'd say with this big energy combination, the answer is yes, it is an omen. As to what? Death card, typically that's about something changing. And this is my boundary card. So talking about locks and security, this is being secure, creating your own security around you.
Maybe transforming, like you said, security so that it's more modernized.
Yeah, and the Fool card is something new. So the Death card right around wrapping to the Fool.
Okay, just for fun. I notice people's outfits sometimes and the color. And so this was a very, very popular photo that everyone saw a couple Super Bowls ago. And we saw Blake Lively in red. And so that was going to reflect their relationship. So then I look at this photo of Travis. Now, everybody's talking about whether she's going to get engaged. We're talking about Taylor Swift. But I keep seeing either her in red or him in red can mean being angry at somebody. Do you think that this is an omen for Taylor Swift?
I did not know you were going to talk about Taylor Swift. And I have a clue in my pre-spread that is completely a Taylor Swift message that I didn't know how it would connect. So I'm going to show you. Well, the first card I pulled was the Leo card. And the first person that came to my mind was her. And just, she's very Leo-like. Her hair, her, like you said, her outfits. This is very fabulous looking. This roar of a lion, the Leo. And it comes along with the 7th house, relationship, partnership, and Chiron. And I thought, is she going to get hurt? Is she going to get hurt? So now you're talking about Aries. And I thought, what's happening potentially with her and Chiron in the 7th house? I don't know.
Yeah, Chiron can mean make you feel better. A relationship, 7th house can make you feel better, but it can also mean poorly aspected pain. So we wish that Travis would start wearing other colors. All right, so here's the Trooping the Color chart. And for those of you who don't know anything about astrology and just like to hear us talk about the headlines, what these charts are, it's a certain time when something starts. And so that's the snapshot of the sky. And so we read it and we can get clues from it. We can see the energies, what's good, what's challenging. And so this is really the birth chart or the horoscope of Trooping the Color. And good Lord. I know you got good cards, but I got Mars on the rising sign and it's in Leo. So this could be a man, could be a bully. When poorly aspected, like Mars is, poorly meaning that red line, that can show a bully. A bully snaps, which would be Uranus. Could be a shot, could be a weapon, but it could also mean something that has to do with the heart or the back. Now, who is the rising sign? Well, I guess the rising sign are the hosts, but it could also mean, it is the king's birthday. So, and of course, how crazy is it that the rising sign conjunct 29 degrees Leo, which is Regulus. This means the king. So just to double check, we look at the Lord of Leo. It's going to give us another clue. The sun is kind of stuck here up in the 10th house. Thankfully, we have blue lines running through there, which show another route. They can't go the way that they wanted to go, but they can go another way. Also, it shows maybe a group of royals because of the sun, Lord of Leo, is in Gemini, which means a group. So we're talking about a group of royals. But we've got a group here. We've got Jupiter kind of next to them, and they look angry, which would be Mars or Aries. This is the South Node in the second house. Usually when you have these aspects to the nodes, which is what they're called, you're stuck. So the weather looks pretty good tomorrow.
Yeah.
Why would, and this is them in a carriage because it would be in Gemini. Why are they stuck? Why does the chart look like they're stuck?
Oh, the Seven of Swords in reverse. That is a new strategy. So we're on the right track there. But I did have another spread that kind of started to make sense with a celebration, an event happening. It could be that, this male, this emperor, someone, quite forceful, is surrendering, or it's like, it feels like a tumbleweed of, someone being taken to the ground or something like that. It made me think of someone like a rabble rouser that's like taken down to their knees. Yes, Seven of Pentacles in reverse. Everything is like someone being taken down. Six of Swords in reverse. Magician, it's again a man. I feel like if they're stuck, it's because they have to reroute or go a different way. There's some trouble over here, so we have to go a different path, and it's maybe a new strategy, a new path, a new way to go.
Okay. Yes. And Jen, you said William is reportedly going to be on horseback while Charles rides in a carriage. Hello, JR. And Anita's here. Hello, Anita. Kimberly, good point. It's his team color, though. And I just think, the universe lined it up so that she would fall in love, allegedly, with a man who had those colors. Jen, you said Taylor Swift was at the Stanley Cup Championship game in Miami with Travis. She was all in beige, Travis in red. Literally was typing that as you pulled that picture. That's too funny. And Trudy's here. Welcome, Trudy. Good morning. And all right. So Kimberly said, maybe they get stuck from those not my king protesters. Yeah, because that's what's on the rising sign. That ascendant is king. That's the word. This is a king chart. So with red lines, it would be kind of like, no, not my king. So I think that maybe that there's something being planned here, but they have another route to get around. And how do I know that? Well, we can see that the route is, okay. So there's another point here. This is the 9th house. This would be a highway. If they have any highways where they're going. And let's see, maybe there's some kind of a royal road. It could be like Prince Street, or, they had to take a left on Castle.
Oh, right.
But it does look like there's another option for them. But we've got more people here. These people look like they're pretty angry, and we've got a square here. So I think that there's going to be an element of people who want to be there, but the police are pretty good with trooping. They got their stuff going on. They were able to do a great job last year, but this could also be the police too. And the police cannot do something. I don't know. There's something wrong with some of the security. Maybe they go missing because of Neptune there. I don't know. But there's one more thing that this might show with Mars in Leo. That's your heart and your back. This is an exact degree, 28 degrees with Uranus. This is either a gunshot or it's a heart attack. Could this be something that has to do with health?
It's a no. Ace of Pentacles in reverse is a no. But I also have, it's a no with another reversal. But I also have this resistance card. So maybe it's someone who's there in the resistance group that has a medical issue, could be, but it doesn't look like a heart attack. It doesn't, but I don't know.
Maybe sometimes it's maybe a headline, there's, or it could be a band. The Heart Attacks are playing. Hopefully not. Hopefully nobody's named that. Jen, will Catherine be there? Weird feeling she doesn't make it. Do you want to answer that?
Sure.
Will Catherine be there?
Interesting. I think she will be. Eight of Wands in the upright and the Four of Cups in reverse, even though it's reversal, I see that as someone on the move, someone who's off their tush and they're going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. What I like about this chart is that there is a really nice blue grand trine in the middle of all this. This is very famous. As you all know, with Pluto conjunct the moon, this is as famous as it gets. And it is, something is being featured here. It's almost like this could be a drone. This is a very, very famous person. Maybe it's like a tech person. Is this a very special person that is being featured tomorrow? Maybe some of you already know.
Well, I have that same rabble rouser woman. Maybe someone political. I don't know. Someone with a big personality.
Okay.
That's someone taking center stage, but they often have, a little spark in them.
Were you able to see when I was drawing this?
Yes.
Okay. I wasn't sure if I had put this camera on. Yeah. Uranus is a rebel, a famous rebel, a famous engineer, a tech person. This can also be someone who, well, keep in mind this weekend, they're talking about knights as well. So we're going to have the sports contingent around because there's David Beckham.
I was just going to say Beckham's.
There's going to be the Beckhams there because he's going to have his new.
And I said spark, but spice, right?
Exactly. Also, with the South Node in Virgo in the second house, this is someone who seems to be either very wealthy or could also be religious because of South Node. And then the clothes have something to do with it because of Virgo. So, but in a nice
Virgo card. So confirmation.
Okay. Yeah. So there's, I don't know, could be something that has to do with the drone, people who are very well dressed. And then we've got this lady here. I think it's a lady because of Venus. Venus is up here in the ninth. I always like to look at what's in the ninth because it's what's going to be in the headlines regarding this event. I mean, unless you're hosting your cousin's birthday party, it's probably not going to be written about. But something like this, Mars for this chart is going to, this person is going to be in the news. And are they just talking about the war? It certainly looks as if this person could potentially be dangerous. So keeping that in mind. And then I want to go over the female in a second. But there it is. There's the famous, so many famous people. Yeah. And also with Uranus, this is online. You know, a lot of people famous online. You're going to be seeing all these fabulous pictures. Yeah. So moving on, just for a minute, isn't it crazy? And you saw this too. Yeah. You were telling me about it. The rising lion, and as Israel launches airstrikes on Iran's nuclear program, this title or this headline came out. So kind of, well, we're seeing because of Mars right now in Leo, this is bullying. This is being very, very aggressive, but also seeing other Leo themes as well. Like you were saying, Beckham and sports and that kind of thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at our show today.
Oh.
And so we got Venus again, and it's for local time, June 13th. And it's going to show us what we're going to be successful in doing, what we should probably avoid talking about. And I always go and I look immediately at the Grand Trine, and there's also some other nice things as well. But let's look at where we are. We are Venus, and Venus is right here. Love it that it's conjunct part of fortune. I was just about to talk about this lady, which we cannot see. We don't know who this is, but it's somebody who is vengeful. And up here in the 9th house, we are going to talk about her and potentially profile her. Mercury could also be a group as well. So these are a group of people. They could be, Scorpio can be Middle Eastern. So there might, or somebody who might have a disguise of something like that. Oh, wait a minute. Is that all I wanted to say on that? Yeah. So Venus is really nice in Taurus. I love Venus in Taurus. And what we want to talk about too is, by the way, we happen to have quite a few psychics in the chat right now. They are here. They are with us. So anytime you see really nice aspects here in Cancer, Cancer always means psychic. It's Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio who are the psychics of the zodiac. But this is a lot of psychics. And maybe they're not here with us now, but maybe they're going to see this show at some point. And they're female because of Venus. It's going to show that as well. So not sure. It could be long distance, 9th house. So maybe what this chart is telling us is that we should talk to them. We should talk to those psychics and see, and you are a psychic as well. So we, have them join us and see what they say. Yeah. But also Cancer means other things too, like females. It means homes, and domestic affairs. So last week, just as a recap, January 8th, or I'm sorry, this was June 8th.
Yeah.
June 8th. I'm thinking of Princess Catherine's chart.
Yeah.
Although I think she's January 9th. But this was quite a chart. It was on the 8th. So I was a little nervous about it. Yeah. Thinking that there was going to be some serious headlines and that tragic. I mean, that was just such a shock that the Dreamliner went down in India. But I got to say, did you see pictures of like the interior of the plane? I mean, I think it was like 10 years old, but it looked like something from the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was really shocked to see the interior. Yeah. So, and we were also, because of Aquarius, we were thinking that there was going to be maybe an outage. And sure enough, there was a passenger who had taken that plane on another trip earlier that day and had recorded how everything was out. All the electrical was out. So, that was tough. And then also, so we're still in this week. I mean, this is last Sunday, but we are still here. And how kind of crazy is it? This is tomorrow. This is Saturday, and it's in Leo. So everybody's going to be talking about the king because the king is going to be out there. We have Mars right here, squaring Uranus, right in the first house. Like, this is really going to be the first house of Saturday. So there is going to be somebody there. And there is a trine to Chiron and Venus, which is a female. Then during the day, so this is going to start at midnight. Then it goes through the day, and I guess this is probably the afternoon, afternoon, and then the evening it switches to Mercury. So then Mercury is here, and Jupiter, and these can often be teenagers. If you put Jupiter and Mercury together, this is preteens or teenagers. Right. And so there's something here that looks troubling. Tough. can you tell me what's going on with these young people?
And this is in Saturday late.
Yeah, maybe afternoon or in the evening.
There's that Four of Cups in reverse again. It's restlessness, mischief. Yeah, this is causing trouble, making things out of balance. And this is always my restless card too. Like someone is tired of, it's like tired of being ignored. That's what I'm getting. I'm tired of being ignored. But it also has to do with possibly something around the home or families. Someone is tired of being ignored.
Okay. Yeah, lots of Virgo coming in, which is critical. They're speaking critically.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. But on the flip side, it can also mean danger to young people as well. So they have to be very careful driving. And it's the fifth house. Sometimes the fifth house represents, let's see, hold on. Fifth house, can you see it? Let me see.
Yes.
There we go. This means high school. But then on the flip side, whenever you have Gemini in a square, and here's two, you're going to have thieves. So these are definite thieves and mischievous people. Yeah. So something to keep in mind. And yeah, and then this was the strike, and that's how we could see that it was Scorpio, or how we could see it was Iran, which was Venus is the Jews, and Scorpio is, or Israel, and Scorpio is the Middle East. So you could see they would come together, and Pluto would be revenge. So it's kind of like revenge bombing. Yeah. Is that what we have to look forward to with Pluto in Aquarius? I mean, when it's poorly aspected, when it's not poorly aspected, it's very good.
Yeah.
So I wanted to read some of these comments here. Hello, Carla. No problem. You can catch up. And Elphaz wants to know who's psychic here. Kimberly, your Cancer rising. Shauna definitely is. Vicky is. Hello, Karen. Karen, you think Catherine's looking thin? Yeah, she always looks stick thin.
Yeah.
And let's see. A rebellious woman. Maybe she won't wear her engagement ring again. Yeah, lots of talk about that recently. And Vicky, you said, I see and know things ahead of time. I keep it to myself because it scares me. I know a lot of people who are a little nervous about that.
Yeah.
And you'll be the No Kings protest in my state. Kimberly, you said you don't know if you're an empath or it's your childhood trauma expressing itself, always needing to read the room to feel safe. And Jen, you said No King protests are heavily organized and being talked about in Minneapolis, at least. In Minneapolis. Wow. I mean, don't they, are they going to get a ticket? Oh, well, it's the No King. Well, here's the other thing. Then I should have mentioned this in the beginning. How weird is it on the same day that King Charles has his birthday protest that I was about to say King Trump is going to have his parade. So we're talking about twin parades.
Right.
So that's why I'm also thinking that this could be part of that twin energy, and how both are going to be kind of stuck, not able to go as far as they want. In Trump's case, it's the weather.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what it is with King Charles.
Yeah.
So hello, Teresa. Nice to see you. And all right. Okay, let's move on to this is this week's chart, June 15th. And so we picked this. I don't know why I put 1205. I should have put 12, but it's almost the same. There's that lady. We're going to talk about her, the vengeful woman. And in this week's chart, here she is at 8 degrees. This could be someone who represents the Israel.
Yeah.
An Israeli woman. And also, what are people going to be talking about this week? Third house's conversation, this Uranus here. Maybe they're just impressed with the drone that came over and greeted them all and gave them candy, or gave money. But don't think that's it. I think there's going to be something that is a little bit surprising there locally. Third house is the local house. So there's the weekly chart, and you could see again here is this woman, which is 8 degrees. I liked it when I look at Black Moon Lilith, the nefarious point, which we always talk about, always see that in something where you see like an event or somebody commits a crime and it's just so unempathetic, not thinking about others. It's the wild animal energy. It's like, I don't care who I hurt or traumatize, I'm doing what I want to do. And that's what we're talking about here with 8 degrees on top of it can be a killer, can be someone who wants revenge. And so there it is again. I wanted to, and then I'm going to ask you, well, actually, let me do that now before I get into Sharon Tate, because, whoops. Oh, shoot, hold on. Because there's Black Moon Lilith in her chart. But can you give us, now that you're seeing this, and you're seeing that Venus is in the 2nd house, so this person might have money. Any other profile you might be able to give us?
Yeah, I had a couple things, the omens that I've been seeing with a lot of spiders, and it made me think of Black Widow. And when you first brought up the Black Moon Lilith indicator 10 minutes ago, I did pull 2 cards to ask who this woman was. And I got the Empress and the Queen of Swords in reverse, which is a very challenging feminine energy, very difficult. But, you know, this image too, she almost looks like she's a warrior of some kind and a warrior of words. And I had a lot of clues early on about big cats. And then I'm thinking cat, maybe it's a name. You've said it, I know, but a lot of my cards have the image of the lion. And I thought, oh, maybe we'll hear a headline around big cats or big prey. So let's see. Oh, I got 2 more. Yes. Cloaked, mysterious, cloaked Black Moon Lilith, restless again. It's that restless feminine energy.
And on one side of it, they are attributing women, Iranian women, for causing so many protests in past months that, does
it have to do with the hijab?
Yes, yes. And so Iran, the leaders of Iran are so focused on that they're saying that they were caught off guard with the strikes from Israel. And so now they're kind of scrambling. I don't know if that's true or not, but so interesting. Okay. Elfaz, you said drones as secret police is interesting. They used to do that during Hong Kong protests, and the rebels were disguises so no camera or drone can identify them. Moon Mete, I should say. Moon in Cancer, am I someone to be reckoned with? Yes. Don't read my mind. I'm blocking you. And Aries, you said Gemini rising. Oh, very nice. You should be communicating. And yeah, the drone talk scares me. Jen, you said it's no kings against Trump birthday parade, army birthday. Yeah, of course, I should have known that. And I'm getting sorry, Jen, I'm getting my king parades mixed up. And apparently a female pilot is in Iran's custody. Whoa, and that's Uranus, which will be the pilot. Right. Okay, here's a yes or no question. Are we talking about are we going to see a famous pilot?
Maybe more than one. It feels like a no, but it's like the 2 of Pentacles. There's a few female cards, Page of Swords and the Judgment card, but that 2 of Pentacles does make me feel like it's I don't know why I'm getting this. It's like a case of mistaken identity. I don't know why I got that. There's like a mistaken identity, maybe with the pilot.
Okay.
The Devil card.
Again.
I had that earlier. Yeah, it feels like if there's they're misidentifying someone.
Okay. You know what? I'm sorry. You got the death card. I got that one mixed up.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So this. Okay. So it could be a guy.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder. I don't know. What do you think?
I think there might be some information around the people with this airline crash where there's an issue with identifying someone. I know that they said there was a leader on board or something. There's like some scandal around misidentifying.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. Eleanor, you said, could the events of somewhere else be seen in UK's chart? Yes. Because we were identifying Iran and a plane crash, which was in India. So, I need to do some more forensic detail so I can just tell you which countries it's going to be in. Yeah. But yes, good point. Teresa, you're so sweet. Oh my God, Val, you were right about the police officer writing things down, that he's helping me with the child support thing. Good for you. It's always nice to have a police officer on your side. And you can see that in your soul return chart if you're going through anything. If you get a lot of red lines through Mars or Aries, maybe get a private investigator.
Or psychic.
Or psychic. During the George Floyd protests, we had drones over our houses collecting data nonstop. Oh my God. That is scary. Yikes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right. So, and if any of you would like to request a reading, there's my website and there's Amber's email. So just connect with her if you'd like a reading. And all right, one last thing I wanted to show you was an example of a really bad Black Moon Lilith. This is Sharon Tate's decade chart. So you would put in the last decade or a decade that you're interested in, but where you had your birthday at the start of that decade. So for her, even though she was born in Dallas, I put Los Angeles because I think she was in 1960. I think she was living in Los Angeles, but I put that in. And then put all of the other information in your birth time and your birth date, and you'll get your decade chart. And so every year is going to be a house. So you'd have to go all the way to, I believe it was it 1969 that she, it was either 68 or 69, but 69 is going to show Venus, and Venus is down here. Venus is a female and opposing this Black Moon Lilith at 18 degrees in Gemini is a group, a very evil 18 degrees group. So 8 degrees might be like a Scorpio group, maybe a group of Middle Eastern people. I don't know. But it also, Gemini shows that they're young as well. So they would be younger people who would eventually, of course, Sharon Tate was killed with her friends in her home. But here's one more.
And that's at 18 degrees.
18 degrees. And you can even get a little bit more of a profile because you look at the connecting blue line to Uranus. Well, they would strike. And what's the last name of the person they were associated with, which was Manson, S-O-N at the end, which is a Leo type of name. And so also, this is a cat, and Leo has a lot of hair. So you saw a lot of the killers, they looked alike. So they were Gemini, they were twins in a sense. They all had their hair in the middle. They had lots of hair, that Leo look. And then also there's this with so much. These are university people, or I don't know if they were university people. I know they were. This is a big age range. They're in that age range, right? But it also shows the movie industry too. So there would be some connection with Manson and the movie industry, and that's how they would get into that house. But anyway, I thought that was really interesting about the Black Moon Lilith, keeping an eye on what the degree is. And there she is. Okay, I have more, but we're out of time. So I'm gonna continue this next Friday. I hope you guys can join us. And thank you, Amber, for helping us out. Got some good clues, I think. We'll see what happens.
See, yes, be a busy weekend.
Yeah, definitely. Well, have a good weekend, guys, and stay safe on Friday the 13th. And we'll see you next time.
See you soon.